Do you know the security guys in front of the clubs? Yes, they have a mechanism. I can check you and determine if you are allowed to access or not. So, here our lesson is Swirtch Port Security. Swirtch Port Security works as a club security. So, with this port security, for example, here's a switch. You have a switch here. We can determine the MAC addresses that can allow a specific through a specific switch port. So, for example, we can say that only 2 MAC is allowed through this port, the first port, for example. Or we can say that for the 5th port, only these MAC addresses are allowed. So, MAC learning can be done in 2 ways with Swirtch Port Security. These are manual and dynamic. So, this is also called sticky. In the first one, we can write all the MAC addresses that will be allowed through the port. For example, if we determine the maximum allowed MAC value as 2, for manual MAC configuration, we should write also, we should configure also the MAC addresses. These 2 MAC addresses we need to determine. But for the dynamic sticky MAC learning, we do not need to configure the MAC addresses manually. For example, here is a switch, and it's a very bad switch. So here is a port, and in this port we configure maximum 3 MAC address with port security, and we configure it as sticky dynamic. So, for example, there is a hub here, and there are computers here. They are connected one by one. Firstly, this computer will be connected, then this one, then the other one, and lastly the D1. So here the maximum allowed MAC is 3. So the first one will be allowed and will be record. Its MAC address will be recorded, and the second one will be recorded, and the third one will be recorded, but this will not allowed because it is the 4th MAC. The sticky dynamic MAC learning means that the first 3 will be recorded and the 4th one will not. For example, if this maximum value was 2, then the first 2 would be allowed, the other will not. In Swirtch Port Security, if we do not use VLAN keyword, our configuration is valid for all the VLANs on that interface. But if we use VLAN keyword with a specific VLAN, then this configuration is valid for that VLAN. Besides this, there is also another term in Swirtch Port Security. This is violation. This violation means that someone is trying to violate our configuration. For example, here's a switch, and in this port we configure that maximum allowed MAC is 2. But here, if the 3rd MAC comes, the first 2 is okay. First MAC, okay. The second MAC is okay. And when the 3rd MAC comes, then this is violation. And beside this, for example, we configure that only this MAC address is allowed for this interface. But if another MAC address come here, then this is also a violation. So there are three violation types. So when the violation occurs, the ports behave differently, and these different behaviors are here. The first one is shutdown, the default one. The second one is restrict, and the last one is protect. Here, this default behavior shuts down or make the port to go to error disabled mode, and the traffic is not go through that interface. Again, we should open it for the normal traffic flow. And for this restrict and protect mode, the traffic goes normally, but the violated traffic is dropped. But here the difference is about logging. In restrict mode, there is logging. There is logging here. But in protect mode, there is no logging. Let's make a small switch port security example here. As you can see, we have a switch and two hubs connected to it. And we will configure two ports of this switch with switch port security. The first one will allow maximum 2 MACs, and it will be configured dynamically with sticky MAC addresses. And the second one will allow maximum 1 MAC, and it will be configured manual MAC address, as you can see here. So let's check the first one. For example, we will connect the second PC firstly here. It is allowed because dynamic sticky configuration. The first one is this, and secondly we connect this one, and the second connected and recorded MAC address is this. The first one is this and the second one is this. But whenever we connect this, it will not allow. Think about that. For example, let's configure these ports as shutdown. Their violation mode will be shutdown. So when we connect this device here, this will be third MAC, so it will not allow. So our port will go to down, error disabled mode. And this is the default mode, remember. And for the second one, when we connect PCA, it is allowed MAC. It has allowed MAC, so it will be okay, there will be no problem. But whenever we connect this one, this will also make this port to go error disable mode.